We've got some breaking news now, and the expansion of the controversial Adani coal mine, 600 new jobs to be created. Joining me live in the studio is the convener of the Shadow Roundtable, Economic Reform Roundtable, Matt Canavan. Your roundtable is tomorrow, but I want to ask you about this breaking news because the Crisafulli government's just announced an expansion of Adani.
Yeah, it's great news. People might remember the Adani Carmichael mine. It was very controversial back in the day. It did get going. It did get going after the 2019 election, despite Bob Brown's efforts, Bill Shorten's efforts. 2,000 people are employed out there.
Well, many people believe that this was a big part of why Shorten lost the election.
I think it was a big part of it because he didn't back jobs. And it's great news, great economic news in a week where we've had some tough economic news. 600 new jobs here coming to the Adani mine, a $500 million investment into the state of Queensland, and all negotiated by the Crisafulli government. It shows what can happen when a government supports industry, supports mining, and backs them in. You can unlock these opportunities. And I think the missed opportunity here today in Parliament House in this roundtable is the government is giving lukewarm support at best for business, and it's not focusing on some of the biggest issues for business, like energy prices, which I'm highlighting today.
And that history, well, I want to get to that in a moment, but when we look at think about the history, the Adani convoy, the
Bob Brown convoy,
convoy, and going through Queensland, it was seen as such a, at the time it had a bit of momentum, I guess, on the left of politics. But at the centre of politics in Queensland, it really did damage the Labor chances in 2019. That was certainly the view among many. That was part of certainly my thinking off the back of that election result. Now, the expansion of it, doesn't Labor deserve some credit because it is the federal government as well, and obviously not putting in handbrakes against this expansion?
Let's see. Well, there's not much they can do because the Adani mine's been approved to go to 60 million tonnes per annum under the coalition government. So they're currently at about 10 million tonnes per annum production, but they can expand to 60 without any more environmental approvals. So even if the federal government wanted to stop it, they pretty much can't. Now, that's why Bob Brown came up. That's why the Greens were so opposed to it, because this was the approval of a very large coal mine. And it's great for our state to have these jobs. Now, I think it's a test for the Labor government. The test for the federal Labor government will be, do they support it? Do they, Jim Chalmers is in here speaking about the economy and economic reform. Someone should ask him, do you support the expansion of the Adani mine? Do you support these extra 600 jobs?
I've got the Assistant Resources Minister joining me in half an hour.
Well, you can
I might ask him.
Go for it.
I think he might support 600 jobs in
Hopefully, you'd hope so. I mean, keep in mind, the rest of the world is massively expanding their coal mining. India, in the last 3 years, India has increased its annual coal mining output by 273 million tonnes a year. We only produce 450 million tonnes a year. That's the increase. So I said it before, Adani's 10 million tonnes per annum at the moment. So that India has opened up 27 Adanis in 3 years. And we don't even mention it, but at least this is 1.5 Adanis now.
When we spoke earlier in the week, I asked you about AI, and I just wonder again, in the context of, say, sequestration, carbon sequestration, if with the expansion of coal and, as you're saying, in some parts of the world, do you give sequestration any hope of working as a sustainable way to reduce emissions in this sector?
It can work, but it depends very much on the specific geology near where those emissions are created. So it's not a panacea everywhere in the world. Unfortunately, in Australia, we only have limited geological areas to store carbon emissions, primarily because we do not have a very significant onshore conventional gas or oil or gas industry. So in the US, they've had a little bit more luck in doing this, where you can inject carbon emissions into an old oil and gas field, and you can actually extract more oil and gas. You can repressurise the field. We don't have a lot of those fields. We have some of them offshore, off Western Australia, but it's just not a panacea. So it's a horses for courses approach.
And you're going to be, as we said, your T-shirt says it as well. You got the round table tomorrow, your shadow round table.
I'm calling the real round table, but there's a fake one going on today. But they're not focusing on the real issues. I mean, clearly
no elephants in the room.
No elephants in the room for me. We'll recognise those, including the shocking increase in our electricity and energy prices. That is clearly one of the big reasons why productivity has stagnated in this country for a couple of decades and then fallen off a cliff in the last few years. It affects all parts of the economy.
We'll have full coverage of that tomorrow, no doubt.
I think you will. Some of it, yep, will be watch. Stay tuned.
Yeah, we will be.
And ours will be open. This one apparently it's not open. You can't go in there right now. It's all secret discussions going on in some. It's not a smoke. I'm sure it's not a smoke-filled room, but it's it's a cavern down there. Mine will be open to the public.
I won't call it a fake one, but I'll call it the Canavan roundtable. Anyway, we'll be across that tomorrow. So Matt Canavan, thank you. Appreciate it.